You've probably been told to work hard, save money, and one day you'll own a home. But what if that dream was never meant for you? What if the system changed and no one told you? Because the truth is, it's not your fault you can't buy a house anymore. It's the game that changed. Owning a home used to mean security, stability, and success. But for millions of people today, that dream feels like chasing a mirage. Prices rise faster than paychecks. Interest rates jump, and your savings? They shrink. So what really happened? Why did something as basic as shelter become a luxury? Let's break it down, psychologically, socially, and financially. Let's start with something uncomfortable. You've been told you're doing better than ever. You have smartphones, online banking, better tech, and endless entertainment. So life should feel easier, right? But here's the catch. Progress in things doesn't mean progress in life. 50 years ago, one parent could buy a house, raise a family, and still save money. Today, two full-time incomes barely cover rent and groceries. Why? Because what used to be progress, innovation, growth, expansion, quietly became inflation. Every new product, every upgrade, every convenience has a hidden cost, and that cost gets passed to you. The same forces that built the modern world also built the walls around your financial freedom. You're not lazy. You're not behind. You're just running on a treadmill designed to move faster every year. Imagine this. You're climbing a staircase, believing you're getting closer to the top, but every time you take a step, the stairs sink a little deeper. That's the illusion of progress, and it's one of the biggest reasons people feel stuck today. But here's where psychology kicks in. The human brain loves hope. We keep spending, upgrading, and scrolling because it gives us the illusion that we're improving our lives. But deep down, we sense something's off. We feel like we're working harder and getting less. And that quiet frustration? It's not just personal, it's global. You see it in housing, in education, in healthcare. Everything's better, yet somehow unreachable. Because progress stopped being about people and started being about profit. Let's talk about the dream itself, home ownership. Why do we even want it so badly? Because owning something gives us control, identity, and safety. A house isn't just walls and bricks. It's proof that your hard work meant something. But here's the painful truth. That desire was turned into a psychological trap. Governments and corporations know that people crave ownership. They sell you the dream, not because it's attainable, but because it keeps you in the system. Work harder. Save more. Invest in property. But what if the very system that tells you to save is quietly devaluing your money every year? That's inflation, and it's not an accident. Think of it like this. Imagine you're filling a bucket with water, but there's a hole at the bottom. You keep pouring, day after day, thinking you'll fill it one day. But the water never stays. That's your savings account in an inflation-based economy. The more money the world prints, the less valuable your effort becomes. And the more you chase ownership, the more you're trapped chasing numbers that move faster than your income. It's not that you can't buy a home. It's that the goalposts keep moving. And here's the emotional part. This isn't just economics. It's identity. People feel like failures because they can't afford what their parents could. They feel ashamed, lost, disconnected from the very idea of success. But listen carefully. This is not your fault. You didn't fail the dream. The dream failed you. You were told to play by the rules, but no one told you the rules had changed. The housing market isn't a ladder anymore. It's a wall. And while you're trying to climb it, institutions, corporations, and investors are already on top, buying entire neighborhoods with one click. So what's the psychology behind this? It's learned helplessness. When people feel trapped for too long, they stop trying. That's why so many have stopped dreaming of owning a home at all. But here's the truth. The goal isn't to give up the dream. It's to redefine it. If owning a home is becoming impossible, then maybe wealth isn't what we thought it was. For generations, wealth was defined by what you owned: land, houses, cars. But today, wealth is shifting. It's not about what you own, but about what you control. The most powerful people today don't necessarily own, they leverage. They use systems, automation, digital assets, and investments that grow even when they're asleep. Meanwhile, the average person is told to save money in a system designed to make that money worth less every year. That's the silent trap. But here's the mindset shift you need. Stop chasing ownership, start building freedom. You don't need to own a home to own your life. You need skills, control, and awareness. Let me give you an example. Two people, same age, same job. One spends 10 years saving for a down payment. The other spends 10 years building online skills, investing small but smartly. At the end, who's freer? The second person, because freedom isn't in the house, it's in the choices. Wealth today is flexibility, the ability to move, adapt, and create without being chained to a mortgage or a market crash. The old dream said, buy a home, settle down. The new dream says, build yourself, stay free. And once you see that difference, your frustration turns into focus. Because you realize the real asset isn't the house, it's you. So how do you escape the trap? How do you rise above a system designed to keep you chasing? It starts with awareness and courage. The courage to stop comparing yourself to an outdated version of success. The courage to say, maybe my worth isn't measured by a mortgage. And the awareness to understand that the economy you live in isn't personal, it's programmed. The first step? Stop letting prices define your progress. Just because something got more expensive doesn't mean you're less valuable. The second step? Start focusing on value creation. Instead of saving in a melting currency, invest in things that multiply: your skills, your creativity, your network. Because no government can inflate your talent. And finally, learn to think long-term. The system rewards those who adapt, not those who wait. This generation's success won't be defined by how many houses you buy, but by how much control you take back from the system. Remember this: the economy may change, the prices may rise, but the human mind, your mind, can always outgrow any limitation. So instead of chasing the old dream, start building a new one. You can't buy a home anymore, not because you're broken, but because the system is. But that system only wins if you stop believing in your ability to adapt. Wealth isn't found in walls and roofs. It's found in awareness, resilience, and freedom. And that's something no market can ever take from you. If this message hit home, take a moment, share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more truth-driven stories. Because the world doesn't need more dreamers chasing old systems. It needs people like you, building new ones.